Hey folks, thanks for joining me. On this episode, we'll be having a look at one of the brews that my good mate and fellow Aussie beer reviewer, Gez Lawson, sent me. It's Überbräu, which is 4% ABV. It's a product of Germany, and it's a supermarket beer that was imported and produced for Australian beer connoisseurs, which is actually just Coles, a supermarket chain here in Australia, which is in a duopoly with Woolworths. But if you're Australian, you know all about that. So yeah, they've had this brew created in Germany, I imagine, and they're selling it in their bottle shops, Liquorland, I suppose, and First Choice for a very reasonable price. Okay, so let's crack off the cap and make an assessment of this. I'll pour it out into this Pilsner glass. It's actually a glass that Gez gave me for my 40th birthday a few years ago. Okay. Alright, so let's look at the appearance of this one. Well, it's a very light, clear, golden yellow color, very carbonated, as you should be able to see. I must apologize for the light in this video as well, but it just goes to show you just how harsh the sun can be in Australia. Alright, so anyway, yeah, looks quite enticing, and yeah, about a finger of you know, bright white head there. I think it's dissipated a little, but yeah, let me just top this up. Okay, so let's check out the aroma. Okay, bit of a sort of yeasty kind of an aroma. Yeah, very faint. Bit of grass there as well. Bit of a yeasty, grassy kind of smell, I suppose you could say. Alright, so we've talked about the appearance and the aroma, so that could only mean it's time for the taste test. So, cheers to you all, and an even bigger cheers to my good mate Gez. Let's dive in. Okay. Well, it hits the spot. I'm certainly I'm certainly getting some sweet grains up front. Yeah, and like the nose, there's a definite presence of grass there, so there is you know, some hop bitterness there. It's quite characteristic of a European or German Pilsner, I suppose you could say. It's quite thin though. I mean, you know, I just reviewed the Aguila before, and it was 4% ABV, but had a lot more in the way of body and flavour. Well, it seems to be, yeah, holding to that taste profile. As I'm consuming it, it is tasting more and more watery to me. Yeah, which, yeah, isn't, yeah, really pleasing, I suppose you could say. Certainly, it's something that you could session. It's, you know, very drinkable, very easy drinking. Goes down smooth. You know, it's going to quench your thirst on a hot day such as today here in Oz. So yeah, and as I indicated in my intro, it's yeah, it's quite reasonably priced as well, so there's nothing to complain about as far as the price point goes. But overall, you know, taste wise, it's pretty average. Yeah, but for the price, perhaps, you know, you can't complain too much. Anyhow, let me have one final gulp and give it a score out of 10. Alright, well, all in all, it's not too bad, but it definitely has its flaws. In terms of a score out of 10, I'd be inclined to give it a 6.75 out of 10. So there you go, folks. A 6.75 out of 10 for Überbräu. Okay, so yeah, that's it from me, folks. I'll hopefully see you all again real soon for another review. But until then, fare thee well, all.